welcome back to How to Student. I'm going to apologize right off the bat. I'm home with 2 dogs and they are noisy, so if you hear things in the background, I'm very sorry. Today we are covering Cami. Now, before we cover Cami, it's important that you know a couple of vocab terms so that you get what we're talking about. So the first one is extension. So we have a lot of extensions. They're like apps that you have on your phone, but they're for the internet. So they're for Chrome. They're really useful, and they, just like phone apps, do a bunch of different things. So the one we're covering today is Cami. It's a Chrome extension, and it annotates things. Annotating just means like taking notes, and it lets you alter and add. And what Cami lets you change, alter, add would be PDFs, which is a type of file that normally you can't add notes to or answer questions on. But with Cami, which is amazing, you are able to do lots of different things. Now, your teachers are likely going to be using Cami throughout the year on Google Classroom, so it's important that you understand it. Okay, so the first step that we need to do is have you make sure that you have the extension added. So if you have a purple circle, do you see in the right hand corner all these different buttons? A purple circle with a white K, that means you already have it. You're good to go. You can ignore me in this bit. If you don't have it, we need to make sure you search for it. So you're going to click on a new tab. You're going to search for Cami extension, K-A-M-I extension, and it pops up right here. It's called a PDF and document annotation. And I apologize, my internet's a little slow today. So this is what it should look like, and it says right here, remove from Chrome. That's because I already have it. So that blue button that pops up, that should say add to Chrome or get extension, something along those lines. You can go ahead and add it by clicking that button, and that will let you have the extension. And then to manage it, if you have it but it's not popping up here, you click on the top right, this little puzzle piece guy, and you notice how there's a push pin to the right of Cami. So you see Cami push pin. If you uncheck it, you'll notice that my button disappeared. We're gonna add it. There we go. And it's pretty straightforward that way. So there are many ways that your teacher is going to or can use Cami. They can use it to upload an article and have you add notes or annotate it. So like circling words you don't know, highlighting main ideas or vocab terms you need to know, which is really useful. We'll go into why annotating is a great thing to do on a different video. But for now, just so that you know the different ways that your teacher is going to have you use it, you could do that. You might be expected to annotate an article. Another thing is if they have questions that they want you to answer after reading a short article or a video or whatever, you can answer the questions using Cami. Another way is if they have you make certain projects, and we'll see the project part in a second. I'm using Lift D&D as a example. This is a classroom for one of our Lift classes. Shout out to Lift. If you are feeling disconnected because of hybrid or virtual learning, if you are feeling like you need more person time, which we all do, this is a very hard time, or you need something to look forward in your day, I 10 out of 10 recommend joining Lift. It's a great program. It's still being offered. It's just virtual, but it's still a wonderful way to connect to your classmates and to teachers. And in this case, I have the Dungeons and Dragons class pulled up. Again, a really fun way to play games and get a neat experience you might not have any otherwise. So definitely join Lift. that's my little spiel. We'll keep going. So if you're in your classroom and you go to classwork, you notice, okay, there's a PDF. You're going to click it. Now there's a few things that may or may not happen. When you click open this, Kami, the extension, might pop up a little box to your right. So the top right over here where my mouse is moving around, you might get a little button that pops up that says open with Kami or use Kami Annotate. Go ahead and click that. That is perfect. Great. If that doesn't pop up, don't worry. You can still access Kami. You're going to click open with in the middle of the middle top, annotate with Kami. Now when you see Kami, don't be stressed. There's a lot of buttons and a lot of different things that you can do. We're going to take it step by step and just highlight the most important functions. At least the basic functions that you need to be able to do this, okay? So it's loading. I'm gonna move my little face over here. There we go. Okay. So you notice this is a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet, which might be like one of the special projects. This is similar to what a special project might be that your teacher assigns. Like if they assign you a Instagram template, it might be through Kami, like create a character profile, that sort of thing. Okay, so the number one first thing to know, we're gonna start with the tools on the left. So that way, you know what they do, the most important ones anyway, and then we'll move to the stuff that's on the top right. Okay. So number one, for me at least, is this text box. So do you see on the left-hand side, there's this big white T right here. It turns pink when you hover over it. Go ahead and left-click onto that. This is how you're going to add text. So this is how you're going to answer your questions, add information, all that good stuff. This is going to be your number one tool. So I have it set to 36, which I think is a fair size. You can change how big your text is if you want, and the color of your text, but I'm going with black for right now. So I've clicked on the T, and now I'm going to left click where I want my text to go. So this is character name. I'm going to left click here. Just one click, that's all you need. Click and let go, and a text box appears. So then I'm going to type my name. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through that one more time. So, okay, we're going to click on the T. We've got everything set that we want. I'm going to put over here randomly, left click. This is what I want to answer. I'm going to say my personality trait loves to read. Okay, and you'll notice that it stays. Perfect. You'll use this for most of your Kami assignments. The next thing I want you to know about is this little button here, Markup. So you click on that and a few options appear, text highlighter and block highlighter. I prefer the box highlighter, but you can pick whichever one you want, okay? And then you can pick the color that you highlight. So it's pretty personalized. You can use it how you want. So say your teacher's saying, please read this article and highlight the main idea. You go to Markup, box highlighter, you've picked your color. Now you're going to highlight, we're going to highlight my name. You see how there's a crosshair that appears? You're going to left click and drag. And then release. It's just like if you were highlighting text in Google Docs. You're going to put the little crosshair right in front of the word you want, left click, and drag. And that lets you highlight a word. So I think that's really helpful. You can also underline. There's an underline function that you can do. There's a lot of different strike throughs, a lot of options, but I think that the highlighter is the most helpful besides the text box. The other thing to know about is this little marker paintbrush thing right here lets you draw. So I'm not very good at this one. Don't judge my drawing abilities. But if you wanted to like circle a word, you could definitely do that. Okay, like I said, don't judge my circle. And so like your teacher might say, circle the words you don't know. So that's what you can do. Now the other button over here that I think is important to go over is this little guy. He's like the pink square. It's an eraser. It's supposed to be an old school eraser. So you click that, and this is how you get rid of something. So say, oh man, I really messed up this circle. I don't want it to look like that. I will click that, and then you get the little eraser crosshair again. You're gonna click that, and it will erase the drawing. So you can redo it if you need to. Okay. So those are the ones that are on the left that you might use most. These other ones do other really cool things too, but that's sort of more specific to certain projects. Now, when you have this all done, you've done your whole assignment, you're going to notice there's some buttons over here that you're going to want to mess with. Okay, so you can share your document. You don't really need to use that one all that much. There should be a turn in button right here. Okay, sometimes Kami glitches, so sometimes this turn in button isn't there. We will talk about that in a second. Typically, you see turn in, you finish your assignment, you click it, and it turns it in on Google Classroom. So that works out really quick, easy, it's very straightforward. You click turn in, you're done. Now, if it doesn't show up, what you do is you're going to save it. Let's see, where we go. There we are. So this will be actually a save button instead of turn in. You're going to save it to Google Drive and then attach it to your assignment. Now, if you have questions on how to do that, please feel free to look at the other How to Student video on turning in assignments, and that'll show you how to attach a Google Drive item to your Google Classroom assignment, if that makes sense. Okay, so make sure you watch that video, because if this turn in button is done, you're going to save it to your Google Drive, and then from there you're going to attach it to Google Classroom. All right, so I think that covers most of what you're going to need to do. The other function I wanted to show you was how to add an image, which is right underneath the eraser. So sometimes they might want you to add a picture of something. And so you can click Add Media, and then you have a few different options. You can upload from your computer, so you might already have a picture saved. This little guy looks familiar. That's for Google Drive, so if you wanted to upload a picture from your Google Drive. But I love this one. This is a Google image search. Now when you click it, it's the G over here. What this is saying, results shown are labeled for commercial reuse with modification. So what that means is all of these pictures you have legal rights to use. A lot of times we use pictures and it's against copyright. You know, we don't own them as intellectual property. So this makes sure that you're covered in terms of copyright use. So we're going to type in puppy, since I have one sitting right next to me chewing on me. And we're going to go with this cute little guy there. So this is just one way. It's saying to click to drop. I'm going to do that. This is just one way to add a picture. Like I said, you can upload it from your computer with this folder. You can add it from Google Drive, or you can do a Google search. And it's really straightforward, simple. You click it, you search, and you add. I hope this is helpful. I know it was a little scattered today. And then you're going to click turn in. So we'll see what that looks like. But if you have any troubles, please make sure you reach out to me or your teacher, and we will definitely help you. So when you click turn in, this is what it looks like. Come on, internet, you can do it. There we go. So it's returning you to Google Classroom. and back to your individual assignment. Click Turn In. And it's done. You've submitted it. So like I said, if you have any problems with Cami, please let me know. You can contact me at ajohnson@nrwcs.org. You can talk to your teachers if you're struggling. Again, I'm sorry this video was a little scattered. But like I said, Cami's really wonderful, really helpful. And please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Thanks.